content and event marketer, and I'm joined by Kate Shea, our senior editor and manager of digital content. Hey, Kate.
Hello.
And Juanita Chavarro Arias, our managing editor. Hey, Juanita.
Hi.
And welcome to The Brief Live, our monthly recap of experiential stories and insights the industry is talking about. Each episode is a compilation of our weekly dispatch, The Brief, which you can find as a LinkedIn newsletter and summary on eventmarketer.com. After a busy quarter, we all have some PTO coming up, and we thought we'd test out a few summer drink recipes for your event venues. It's a really tough job we have, but we're going to do it for you. Mocktails and cocktails, of course. I'll kick us off with the Sarti Rosa Spritz. There it is. The TikTok favorite right now, featuring Prosecco, Sicilian blood orange, mango, and passion fruit, easily mocktailed with club soda. It's a take on the classic Aperol Spritz, and it maps back to the National Restaurant Association's What's Hot forecast for 2025, which mentioned creative spritzes and 90s martinis, actually, as beverage trends to watch this year. Kate, what's on your menu?
Sure. I still don't know what a 90s martini means.
Not sure either. Yeah, I'll do some research.
All right. Well, my drink is certainly not as trendy or ooh la la as yours, but a few years back at San Diego Comic-Con, I think it was 22, Paramount did this Dungeons and Dragons activation, and it was all set in this tavern, which is kind of where the movie was set. And they just gave you these big glowing green mugs of what I think was something like a Moscow Mule, was kind of what it tasted like. But it just went so well with the experience, like the glowing green, and it was so refreshing. I mean, anybody that's been around the Gaslamp District in the summer knows you need a drink. So cheers to that.
All right, we love that. And Juanita.
Yeah, last summer I got to go to the local stop of Hennessy's Made for More tour, where they popped up a branded shipping container in the parking lot of an ABC store. And they had a scent station for signature cocktails and a touchscreen quiz experience to find the cocktail that best fit your lifestyle and preferences. And so on the screen, you'll see my results. I got the Hennessy Berry Mojito, which they had a sampling station inside of the store at like a cute little cart. And so they created it right there in like a little branded Hennessy shot glass. And it was very refreshing with little berry garnishes.
Sophisticated twist on the classic. You're the star of the show, Juanita, according to this description.
I was very happy with what I got. And it was interesting because on the scent station, I actually liked the scent of the Paloma. And so I was like, maybe I'm going to get that one, but I didn't. And I got this. And I was very satisfied either way.
Trust the process. All right. Cheers, ladies. So we've poured over the month's top stories and prepared some commentary and analysis in brief just for you, and let's get into it. And first up, let's stick to the summer vibes and talk summer inspired campaigns. They're colorful, they're outdoors, they're going viral. Kate, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I'm loving this. I kind of mentioned in this week's edition of The Brief that the industry kind of has this like suns out, buns out vibe right now. Everybody's really excited about summer. Brands are leaning into it. And so first up, one of my favorites you'll see here is this Aperol stunt. So I think, we can all agree that Aperol spritzes are kind of the quintessential summer drink, right? So earlier this month, to kick everything off, the brand just unleashed this fleet of waiters, all wearing the same white uniform, carrying trays of the spritzes all around these NYC hotspots. I mean, just, what a visual, right?
That's
just on its own. And it wasn't just a spectacle, right? Like this went viral on TikTok. I mean, it was everywhere you looked. So bravo. So another one this week was Lipton's kombucha box, if I can even say that. It's to promote its new kombucha line. So here you see this beautiful bright yellow installation. People could come up, take pictures with it, grab their samples. But my favorite part was they also had a professional cha-cha dancer teaching people cha-cha dance lessons, like in the middle of public in London. I loved it. And then so wrapping up, there's this new alcohol brand, Six Sip, and they did this really kind of intimate floating activation where it was a tasting experience. I think it was probably maybe 10 people a boat, but that's actually kind of one of the cooler perks of it, I think. So, on the water, this like light drink, cute little props, all that good stuff. So very summery, and I'm into all the summerific stuff going on, so keep it up.
All right, I'm going to take us into another popular summer activity, and that is the team building event, which Heineken cracked open as longtime European Football Association Champions League sponsor for a stunt targeting soccer fans in Latin America. Championship match times took place during work hours, so the brand teamed up with companies in Peru, Panama, Paraguay, and Ecuador, to create fake company workshops complete with lanyards, presentations, icebreakers, and of course, it all went down in a hotel ballroom. Where else, right? Kate, I loved this one. But suddenly, lights started flashing, the ballroom walls separated, and there was a surprise watch party awaiting the employees with a big screen and cold Heineken's. We love a stunt. We love a content generating stunt. In fact, I remember the Worlds Apart stunt that Heineken produced in 2016 that rewarded unsuspecting consumers in a clothing boutique for waiting for their significant others to finish trying on clothes, like marathon try-on sessions, actually. And the person who waited the longest for their partner trying on those clothes walked outside and was delivered a truckload of Heineken's. We love when brands are heroes to the everyday, solving pain points, serving up surprise and delights. And I think what also stood out here for me, Kate, was this watch party stunt was like, I mean, who knew a ballroom could be this versatile? Like it could play both sides of the coin here of like the boring setting and then something like exciting and super efficient to pull this stunt off. So
they did it really, really well. Yeah. I mean, if you all watch the video, you could see people are actually falling asleep. Like it's just like the nightmare workshop that you don't want to attend. So bravo.
All right, next up, let's talk sponsorships and an Oatly half marathon program that checked all the oat milk boxes. Juanita?
Yeah, so for the NYC Runs Brooklyn Experience half marathon, Oatly showed up with half touch points around the race to reinforce that its oat milk products have nearly half the climate impact of cow's milk. So you can see here, these included Oatly carton mascots cheering on competitors. They had a halfway halftime show with a drum line, half-distance mile markers as brand ambassadors who are holding signs, and professional pacers running the race with branded flags to mark a variety of half paces, like a 7.5-minute mile. Oatly also partnered with Dayglow Coffee to provide oat milk lattes and treats to the friends and families who are cheering the runners on. And it was a Better House refreshment station. So, you kind of hear what it is, but you don't actually know what the execution is, but it all makes sense. And this kind of in-your-face, bold approach isn't something that's new to Oatly. Just last August, they crashed a Capitol Hill ice cream party with a dairy deprogramming zone in Washington, D.C. And they pulled up a bright yellow ice cream truck across the street from this event to offer up Oatly's soft serve alongside messaging with the dairy industry's climate impact facts and stats, since it's put on by the International Dairy Food Association. So I would just say that Oatly is really good at inserting itself in events that may be unexpected, like the half marathon. You don't really think oat milk when you think of running, exercising. I think more of water, electrolytes, but the brand is getting creative to make their presence make sense and get the attention of participants and passersby. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And they're creative. If you look at the sort of the font style and everything that they've pulled together with this, it's just fun.
All fits their brand. Yeah, so I love to see that.
Excellent. All right, moving on. The talk of our team this week is Expo 2025 Osaka, the global expo that takes place every 5 years and features national pavilions, absolutely stunning builds and designs and storytelling. Our editor-at-large, Anna Huddleston, was there to see it all as it kicked off, and you can check out her coverage at eventmarketer.com. We're going to walk through some design moments that we're loving so far, and one that stood out for Anna and for me, LED architecture, including this portal-like build in the China Pavilion, or these massive towering screens in the USA Pavilion, and this installation in a special Pasona Natureverse Pavilion right here. More than video walls, like stunning shapes and use cases of LED out there in Osaka. Just a lot of inspiration to check out. Kate?
Yeah, I mean, I loved so many of the exhibits, but one of my favorites was the Singapore Pavilion. First of all, the outside is so cool, playing on the fact that it's called the Red Dot. But my favorite touch point was this opportunity for people to go in and they could either write or draw one of their dreams. And then that was through technology kind of translated into this like light and color effect that kind of infiltrated these, bulbs or spheres within this space. So it was kind of this, a little bit analog and then super digital, but I mean, altogether, what an emotional moment, right? Because that is actually taking something you care about, letting technology make it better in a way, right? I mean, it was just really interesting for a show like this. So that was my pick.
Juanita?
Well, I actually covered Expo 2020 Dubai, so it's interesting to see how every World Expo is tailored to the host country's culture and setting, but each pavilion, like the Singapore one, adds their own flair. And so in Dubai, I don't know if you remember seeing a standout was the curved surreal waterfall feature that the water looked like zero gravity. Like it was really cool. And so I think for Japan, the Grand Ring is really spectacular. It stands 65 feet tall. It's surrounding most of the expo footprint, offering multi-level walkways on the top and the bottom. There's intricate modern interlocking designs, and it's also recognized as the largest wooden architectural structure by Guinness World Records. So this massive symbol of unity and diversity is going to be one of the expo's most memorable elements for being functional, purpose-driven, eye-catching installation that shows off Japan's architectural style. And I think that's something that attendees appreciate.
Yeah, there's so much to dig in. There's so many layers of stories in these spaces. It's open for 6 months and you can get a season ticket. So I don't know, thinking about repeat visits and how people can experience it differently throughout the season. Just a lot of really cool things to think about as an experiential marketer that could apply to events and exhibits for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. And that wraps up our brief here. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you back here next month. Until then, be sure to subscribe to the Brief LinkedIn newsletter. Check out all of our weekly coverage on eventmarketer.com. Welcome to summer. Thanks, everybody. Bye.